Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with another fun homemade card for our Scrappy Advent calendar. Apologies that I'm not saying the days for my cards. I don't know what days I'm releasing these. It's sort of, I want to kind of lay out all my cards and spread them out a bit so that they kind of, Jess gets to not open, all the birthday cards at once. So these are birthday cards, and I probably have made majority birthday cards, let's be honest. I do think they are the most common cards we hand out or send to people. So yeah, this is another really cute one. I really like this one because it's music themed. So I'm creating a bit of a piano background, or piano keys as the background. Now you'll see in my example that that is not how piano keys look. You don't have 4 black keys in a row. I do fix that in these ones that I'm making now. But I do think the 4 keys, they're much more symmetrical, but not accurate. So it did bother me that it wasn't accurate. So I did change it up for these ones that I'm making here. But yeah, just know that I know that the one in my example card is not an accurate representation of what a piano looks like. Now, as you know, by usual story, I will leave all of the measurements for these cards in the description box down below, so you don't have to write anything down or anything like that if you're wanting to make these cards. Most of these are not my original ideas. I've definitely cased them from Pinterest, so if I can find the one that I followed, I will link that down below as well. So you can check out the original, because they probably have a way better tutorial than I do. This is using Stampin' Up! Supplies for the cardstock and then a Lawn Fawn stamp set. I don't remember what this one is called, to be honest. Concert Critters, something like that. But I've got the stamps and the matching dies, and it's super cute. You can see why I bought it. If you know me, or you've watched our channel for a while, you will know why I purchased this stamp set, because I'm in a band, 2 bands, and 2 of the instruments that I have played form these, or part of these little stamps. So I play the French horn, which is what the fox is playing in this stamp set, and I also used to play the trumpet. I don't anymore, but I used to, and that's what the little bear is playing. So yeah, super cute, so much fun, and I really like them. And I've used them quite a bit. As you can also tell, I'm not the best at cleaning my stamps, particularly if I've used black ink. So I apologise for those people looking at my stamp sets and cringing. But, it is what it is. You can wash them with warm soapy water too if they photopolymer stamps are kind of losing their stick a little bit, which some of my older Stampin' Up! Stamps are, because I've used them a lot. Yeah. So anyway, I am folding my card bases, and then I think I'm going to finish off. Oh no, I remembered that I really should have done my stamping first, so that the stamps in the black ink could dry so that I can colour them in. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to stamp out my images, and then I'm going to go back to finish putting together the rest of my card. So I'm stamping out. I've used the little bear with the trumpet, and I think I'm then going to stamp out the fox with the French horn, and I think he's a raccoon with a flute, and of course the music stand and sheet music. So that is what I'm stamping out. How are you liking our series so far, everybody? We love December. I think, again, I've said that every card video that I've made so far, and we just love it. I love December. I love opening advent calendars. I think it's just as special as an adult as it was as a kid, I will be honest. The meaning of Christmas might change a little bit as an adult, but opening a gift every day, particularly a handmade gift that my sister has, taking the time to make for me, is really special. And yes, we have purchased gifts for each other too, but kind of, matching them all together it's lovely, really is. So I've done my stamping. I've done my stamping of my images. I do stamp the sentiments now, which is, I think, hope you have an awesome day is what I chose. Again, these happy birthday cards could be used for anyone, any gender, kind of any age too, really. I think younger people would like these cards as well, particularly if they have a music background. So yeah, I'm going to stamp out my sentiments. Now I've got some little strips of white cardstock that I can use. These often come when I'm like cutting mats for my cards, and these little strips are sort of what's left over, and rather than throw them out, they go back into kind of my container where I keep my white cardstock specifically for card making, and I often use up little scraps like that for sentiment strips. So I don't really throw anything out when it comes to my card making kind of scraps. Unlike my scrapbooking scraps, I wouldn't keep a scrapbooking paper scrap that small once I've finished with a collection, just because I know that I wouldn't use it. Whereas for card making, there's often ways, because you're working on such a small kind of surface area, there's a lot more ways that you would use something that size. So you can see me now sticking the black keys down on my piano, and as I said, I will change the pianos or the cards that I'm making now to make them a more accurate representation of a piano. So it does require me cutting one of the little black keys in half so that I can put half on one side and half on the other, because I cut exactly the right amount. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I'll do the same to the other card. This so far is the longest card that I have made for my cards so far. Now I'm only about halfway through. I think I've made 7 at this point. So I've still got a few to go, but it's early in November, so I've got a bit of time up my sleeve. And I think this card took me about half an hour to make. Obviously I'm doing 2 of them. But yeah, it's about half an hour. Sorry, I can hear my child just waking up from his nap. And he probably needs me to go and get him in a minute. Let me see. Give him a minute to see if he'll go back to sleep. I'm thinking he's not going to, but we'll see. We will see. So I'm still sticking down my black keys, and just, yeah, this is the time-consuming part, I suppose, the fiddly part, but needing it to look like a piano. So, as you can tell, sort of at the top, you can see the one with the 4 keys, black keys, obviously looks way more symmetrical, but just not an accurate depiction of a piano. So I did have to change it. I couldn't leave it. It was messing kind of with my brain. But, I don't think that many people would notice. But if you are musical and you are giving this card to someone who is musical, they will probably notice. So yes, I had to fix it. So I'm adding those piano keys in the card mat to my card base, and then I'm going to come in and add my little happy birthday. Now I cut out this happy birthday using a lawn fawn die. Lawn fawn, they have amazing card making supplies. Amazing. If I had, an endless supply of money, I would definitely be stocking up on a lot more lawn fawn supplies. I've only got a few stamp sets, but I really like them. Now I'm using some art glitter glue, if you don't mind. Picked this up from my local scrapbooking store, my physical scrapbooking store, just to try it out. I've heard a lot of people say they really like it, so I wanted to give it a whirl. This is the only thing I've used it on so far, so I have no real comment yet. I really did buy it to try out for backing cut files, so I'm going to give it a little bit more of a go and then see how I feel about it. I like that I can get it locally from my local scrapbooking store. That's always nice. So we'll just see how we go. So you can see me there. I've just stuck the die cut piece down onto the card. Now this die cut is made so it could be used on a 4x6 card. So it's a lot longer than what I need because I'm using, it's a vertical card, not a horizontal card. When I say 4x6, that's the wrong size. It's slightly bigger than that, but it is made to use either on a vertical or landscape or a horizontal card. Wait, they are both the same thing. A landscaped card or a vertical card. So I'm sticking down my happy birthday. I've got one, it's the same coloured cardstock as the base. So whatever colour the base was, I cut out the sentiment, the happy birthday sentiment in the same one. And then I'm just trimming down this hope you have an awesome day sentiment, adding some little fishtails to it and then popping it up on some foam and then adding that just under the happy birthday. And then I'm going to have to colour in my little critters. I do run downstairs and have to get my textures because they're not on my desk. And I haven't edited these videos. I find it really tricky to edit card making videos because I think you do kind of need to see the whole process. So that's why I don't edit anything out. So in these videos, you'll just see me pause for a minute while I run downstairs and get my my textures, but I won't pause. I won't edit the video. I just find it a bit, I don't know. Tell me what you think. I don't make card making process videos really very often, but I just find that I think you kind of just need to see it from start to finish. Obviously, I've sped it up. I've doubled the speed, so it's a lot faster than you would do it in real life, but I think that makes it okay to watch. But I just find that I do think you need to have the whole process in. So you can see me here. This is when I ran downstairs. Now, it only took me, a few seconds. But I realised that the only textures I had upstairs were my Stampin' Up! Ones, and I wanted my other textures. So, yeah, I ran downstairs and got them. So they're just these ones. They're not, like, fancy at all. In fact, they're sort of like permanent markers. They're not the best, probably, for using to colour in the stamping, but it really doesn't matter. It works. I don't have Copic markers. I like them. They look amazing. But I know myself, if I get into another thing that I enjoy, I'm going to want to buy them all. So I haven't opened that Pandora's box. So these textures, someone gave to me, or did I pick them up somewhere when I was before I was scrapbooking, when I was doing a little bit of, mindful colouring and things like that. Pretty sure I've had them for a long time, but I do find them handy for colouring in, particularly things like stamps when they're just small, kind of, small areas that you're colouring in. They work. So you can see me here colouring in the bear, coloured in the raccoon. I don't colour in the whole stamps, the whole stamped image. Well, I do for the bear, but I don't for the raccoon. I left quite a bit of him white. And I do the same with the fox. I don't colour in all of the fox, and then I don't colour in the music stand or the sheet music, just because I don't need to. So I'm colouring the French horn, yellow, because I don't have a gold texture, and then I'm just colouring in the kind of parts of the fox that I think would be coloured in, and then leaving some of it white. And I think I've used a kind of reddy brown colour, maybe. It's a bit hard to tell on my phone because the space that you're editing with is so small. For anyone else that edits on an iPhone, it's why sometimes you'll hear people say, I think that's, this die cut or the sentiment says this. It's because you can't tell. On the iPhone surface, it's very small. So I am now going to bring in the Big Shot, and I'm going to cut the images out using the dies. I will apologise in advance because my table will shake a lot. There's nothing I can do about it. My phone stand is kind of on a wooden stand that sits on my table. So when my table moves, my phone moves. So yeah, it is what it is, but it only takes a second to cut these out. So I've just got a Big Shot. Can get them in lots of places. This is a Stampin' Up! One, but I've had it for a long time. But Big Shot obviously isn't a Stampin' Up! Brand. They don't actually work with Stampin' Up! And Big Shot don't work together anymore, I don't think. But die cutting machine, any die cutting machine that you have does the trick. So yeah, cutting out all my little bits and pieces. I've got 2 more to cut out. And I do have the magnetic plate on my Big Shot, which I really like. It means I don't have to use washi tape to stick down my dies. So if you don't have a magnetic plate on your die cutting machine and it has the ability to have one, then I highly recommend. So we are all done with our cutting. Now all I need to do is pop up my little critters on my card and we are finished. So I really like this card. Again, I think the unicorn card is still my favourite. Apologies if you haven't seen the unicorn card yet. I don't actually know which order I'm putting these up in. But if you haven't seen it, then, watch this space. The unicorn card is coming. But if you have, you'll know what I mean. And I think that one is still my favourite. But I really like this one. Obviously, the musical creatures have a soft spot in my heart. So hopefully you are enjoying our Advent Calendar series so far. Make sure you go and check out Jess's opening video today if you haven't. She will be opening these cards, which you've already seen, so spoiler alert, as well as her purchase gift. So the way that we do it is we alternate our kind of opening videos and we each open 2 days at a time, if that makes sense. So it'll make sense if you've seen any of the videos. So thank you so much for watching. Here are the close-ups and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye guys.